Okay, let's see if it is working. I'm I'm trying to see in my channel on YouTube if it is all working. Okay, it seems that it is working. So I can go on with the tutorial on building a Tomb Raider custom level using 3ds Max and MetaTutor. So I left you while I was trying to texturize all this area using those textures, and I did it while I was offline to not bore you with something that doesn't need specific explanations. Again, as we can see those purple dots, I have to go in the customize, preferences, viewports, configure driver, and I configure the driver, the textile lookup to nearest. So I have the closest representation, visualization of the objects and the textiles with alpha channel as I'm going to see them in once those objects are imported in game. Okay, while I was offline, I created this texture using this one. I created this texture with all those layers. I show you what the layers are made of, so you can see how this texture works. Okay, then I composed this texture in this way. As you can see, this texture is called grass border, and I'm going to use it for the border of this floor, of this terrain, to the lake. I know that the texture name is 55, and I choose it from here. While I was offline, I created those texture that I know I'm going to use in this level later. Okay, so I select this and I press Alt Q, right, to have a selection of this texture, of this object, and I see it as the only object in the viewports. I go in the polygon selection and I try to select only the border, which is this one, which are those ones. Okay, so those are this is the whole border selected. I apply this texture, this material, and I use the UV map and face option. As you can see, in each polygon, we have all the 4 borders, but I'm going to use only one of them. Only one of them for each polygon, only one click. Okay, but I need to rotate it. Okay, so it is all fine. But as I created 4 versions of this border, I'm going to use even all the other 3 remaining portions of this texture tile. I will start, just to remember where I start, I will start with this one, and I will go on from this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. Okay, it is boring, but it must be done. Oh, my mouse doesn't respond. Oh, okay. Okay, I closed my television so you can have a better audio. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to close it before to start. Okay. Okay. I should be end soon. I hope you are able to see me. I just okay. I do a fast checkout. Okay. Okay. So they are not paired, but it is fine all the same. It is fine all the same. Okay, this is going to be the second text as I started from here. So I move here those polygons in the UV coordinates. I have them here. As you can see, let me try a different position. Okay, flat. As you can see, we have different portions. So I'm going to use that now. The following portions. Again, it is boring, but it must be done. I try to be as fast as I can. 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this way, I have a lot of variation, and textures won't be appearing as they repeat themselves so many times. Okay, lovely. So I move them here. And with the snap, I position them here. I'm going to do this again. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. Yes, it's fine. Okay. From here. I started here, so I did this one. So now it's this turn. It's the turn of this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. It is boring, but it must be done again. But there is a reason. Sorry, but while I see here, I see that I did a mistake. What is this one? Oh. Oh, so it's an error. It's an error. What is this one? I selected this one for as an error. Okay. 1, 2. No. Okay, I'm doing all wrong. Okay. So I start from here. I did this one. I did this one and this one. So I'm going to do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm progressing correctly. 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5. Okay. After I finish this selection to position correctly the texture, the UV infos, I'm going to show you how to start to have a bit more of detail, some further detail, exactly using this border. Okay, I'm here to finish this and this one. Okay. Okay, very fine. Tools, well selected. Okay. Convert this one into editable mesh. Editable mesh. Okay. Now I'm going to add some detail. This is fine. As you can see, it is almost all seamless. I'm going to add some detail this way. First of all, I detach this part so I can work only on the border. Later I will attach it again to the main terrain mesh. I add a slice modifier, which is a plane that cuts all the polygons in their middle, because those are selected, so it chooses automatically 3ds Max position the slice in the middle of the selected polygons. And I put this slice a bit higher than the position chosen automatically by the engine. For example, here. To make a soft border, I'm going to add a soft border. I subdivide this mesh. I put a big number, so I'm sure I won't have undesired subdivision. I convert to editable mesh. I exit from the isolation mode. I select the terrain. I go in isolation mode, pressing Alt Q. I select this one, and I attach again this mesh. Okay, and then I weld the vertices, choosing a threshold of 0.001. Weld. Before welding, they are 1,758 vertices selected. After they are welded, they are 1,444 vertices selected. Okay. Now I am going to move those vertices only slightly to have any regular shape. For example, this way. The engine will accept this additional detail, and it is Lara, when Lara will go out of the water, she won't see that this shape is a bit irregular. I'm going to do this almost on every border to make it the more irregular possible. But as you can see, the variation is really little, so it won't affect the fact that Lara tries to go out of the water only from completely diagonal, completely orthogonal borders. The player will notice this difference, but it won't be so high different that you will notice that Lara's ends are not taking orthogonal borders. Okay, I'm going to do almost with every vertices, so it is a bit boring, but it must be done. After I do all of this, I'm going to show you how, another part of this lake I want to build that I hope will show you some possibilities that 3ds Max gives to this engine that the normal NGLE won't allow. Okay. Try to be when building this kind of border, I try to be the more random I can. Once I will be in game, all of those polygons won't have the problem we usually have when using, for example, bent polygons in strpx, because all those polygons are already triangularized. So all of this won't give the bent polygon problems that in-game seems to be missing. Okay. Sadly, with this engine, Lara won't be able. She won't be able to grab on diagonals borders, but maybe one day she will be able. I should ask Paulone to implement this feature. For example, giving to us a new environment flag, which could be Lara is in front of, for example, Lara is in front of a 45 wall step sector. Sometimes I save using the Ctrl S key. So even if you don't see that I save the file, I am saving almost every minute. There is no need to to move all of those vertices, so I do them really in a random way. Oh, there's a scene here. I'm going to check it later. Maybe I will be offline, so I won't bore you. Where I am? Oh my god. Okay, maybe it should be fine if I leave this for when I am offline. I will try to reach here, and then I will do something different, so I won't bore you again. Furthermore, and I will do what I was thinking to do with all those textures I created while I was offline. I hope you can hear me. I do a test in my channel. To see if you can hear me and you can see me. Okay, seems that everything is going good. My channel is viewable and you can hear my voice. Okay, so this is the last one, and then I will go on with something different. I will remember where I am, which is the last vertices I moved. Okay, so I arrived here. Okay, so this is all this part is left. All this part is left. Okay, where I started? Who knows? I think I started here. No, here. This is done. This is done. Okay. I'll do something different. So I save with a different name. Okay. I'm going to use this texture. I'm going to use this texture. And this is it. Okay. I want to create a bridge. A bridge that I can put, for example, here. So I exit to the isolation mode. I said I want to put bridge here. And I'm going to build it this way. First of all, I can enable the snap. Now it and the bridge will go from here to here, for example. It will be one click or half a click, but it will be less than one click, less than the half one click, and it will be a bit suspended. For example, here it is 5 sector and half. So let's do 5 sectors. Okay. Just one moment, because as I move it, those vertices, I need to know if it is all fine. Okay, and this is so this should be okay, and okay, so it is at the correct position now. It is 5 sector length, so I'm going to write 5 here. I'm going to write 5 here. Okay, this is fine. Okay, another material. This one, is it 44, and I apply it. Okay, but I want a face with the map. Okay, so it is not tiled in this direction, but I want it to be this way. I want it to be this way. Okay, in this here it is fine. Okay, so it is good. No, fine. Okay, I'm going to use a quick planar map, quick planar map, and a quick planar map. Again, a quick planar map, but I'm going to rotate it. A quick planar map. Watch here to see what happens. A quick planar map. Again, a quick planar map. And a quick planar map. And another quick planar map. And I'm going to use a quick planar map even for this one. The quick planar map, but I rotate it 90 degrees. So it is almost fine, almost all fine, but the texture are good this way and this way, but not in this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to rotate 10. Okay, so they are all fine, but I want those ones to be at the bottom here, and those ones to be at the beginning here. Okay. I do an edit mesh. I select all the meshes with Ctrl A, and I press Alt Smooth, and then do all of them smooth the same way. Okay, okay, it is okay. Okay, I exit the flat rendering. Okay, I want to do all of this a bit more irregular, but I'm going to do it later, or I can do it even now. Okay, I do it now. Okay, I select this, those ones. No, I select those ones. I do a slice. I click on the slice modifier so I can go in the slice plane, in the slice plane level. I can rotate the slice plane of 90 degrees. Again, I select all of this and I do a slice. I rotate the slice this way, 90 degrees. Okay, and again I do the slice on those polygons, and I rotate the slice this way, 90 degrees. I convert all of this in an editable mesh, and I do some extrusion. For example, those ones. This one I go in the edit poly modifier. For example, those ones I do an extrude or bevel. Okay, I do an extrude by polygons. I do an extrusion this way, for example. Okay, it is fine for me. Apply. But I want to do cancel. I want to do a bevel for this one. Look up the polygons, a bevel. Okay, for example, this way. Okay. But in the editable mesh, I'm going to select only the polygons I have added. Okay. I do a new view map, but this time with a box modifier. I copy the width dimension and I paste it here. So it is really a cube. I'm going to the gizmo level to see if everything is fine. Not that fine, but I want this one. If I remember correct, this one, I want it to be one. Okay, in fact, so it is so fine, but I have to rotate the gizmo. Let me see. Okay. So this must be this way, and this must be one. Okay, so as you can see, it is all perfectly texturized. Okay. I want to do, there is no need to do all of this work again here or here, for example, because I'm going to copy and paste this one. I press the S key to have the snap enabled. Then using the Shift key on the keyboard, I move those polygons, and as you can see, there is a copy of the selection. Okay, clone to element. Okay, but I want to rotate this so it is much more irregular. Okay, and I copy it here. Okay, I will rotate it again, for example this way, and then move it here. Okay, it is almost all fine, but I want even those polygons irregular, but this time there is no need to copy again the same portion. I can copy, for example, only those ones, not this one, not this one, and not this one, not this one, and not those ones. So I go in the isolation mode. So I'm going to copy this one here to have the most irregular shape. I'm going to weld all those vertices, which are 232 vertices, but I'm going to weld them with the threshold of 0.001, and I'm going to have 208 vertices. So I earned 24 vertices. I'm going to convert this into an editable mesh, and I'm going to have this catwalk, which is quite fine, but I want to add some additional detail. I choose, I'll go into the create panel in geometry, and I choose to create a cylinder. For example, I'm going to in the top view, and I will create a cylinder this way. Okay, obviously I don't like its dimensions, still too right. Okay, I don't want to put switching on a net, so okay, 2. Too many sides. 8 is far more useful and enough. I save, and I apply this same texture. Okay, obviously I need to texture it in a more pleasant way. I go in the unwrap. This is how a cylinder is automatically unwrapped by the program. Obviously I don't like it, and I'm going to change it. Tools. Let me see, let me guess. Okay, I can do this one. Tools, the touch edge vertices. I move them here. Okay. But I'm still not completely satisfied. I'm going to use only half of this texture. Okay, so I with person snap toggle selected, I use the free form mode, and as I have this one, but this key person snap toggle enabled, my deformation is done in a percentual, so I am sure this one is 50%, and it is much more pleasant for this cylinder to have this kind of texturization. I'm going to weld the vertices so I don't have any more those ugly green lines, but as you can see here, there is a seam here. There is a seam. So I'm going to change this by selecting those and doing a flip to attach it frame flip. Okay, again I will select it. Okay, so there is no seam anymore because those textures have a symmetrical UV unwrap. Okay, it is all fine now. Edit mesh. I select all of them. Auto smooth. I smooth all of them. This one is useless because it will be invisible, so I delete it. And I'm going to texture the top of this the map. I select the gizmo, and I use a length of 1 and a length of 1 sector. I go in the unwrap. Okay. I position this one, for example, here, or better here. Okay. So it is all fine. I'm going to duplicate this cylinder, and after that I'm going to add a modifier to have this perfect cylinder a bit more organic and irregular. So to duplicate this cylinder, I could choose the easiest one, the easiest method, which is simply to drag this cylinder as I want and to make, for example, 10 copies, 10 instances, and it does this effect. But I want you to know a tool that there is in 3ds Max. which is the array you can add from selecting the tools menu and the array tool. I can use incremental for the move, the rotate, and the scale, and incremental measures. In order, I can have an array that is a series of the same item in this way. Okay, I want 10 items in this in one direction, one dimension. But I want two of them, two counts in two direction, and I want two lines, and the incremental should be in the epsilon direction of, for example, minus 0.25. So one click. Okay. I want them to be rotated in the zeta axis, for example, 15 degrees. Okay, and I want an incremental row of 1, and I want to see what is going to happen. Okay, it's quite fine, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it is really good. The preview is fine. I press OK, and this is my bridge. But again, I want to change all of this. For example, now first of all I want to do one thing. Okay, I said this one. Those are not only repeated, but they are even rotated. If you see, they are rotated of 15 degrees, so they do not seem like they are completely repeated with no difference. Okay, so they are all instances. This means that if I modify one of them, all of them are automatically modified. Before doing this, I want to duplicate this one, but as a copy. Okay. Then I'm going to modify those ones. I'm going to lower this top of, for example, 0.05. Okay. Then I want to add some randomness. This way, for example. This way, for example. And this way, for example. So they all seem different. Okay. I can be even a bit more exaggerated. Okay. Okay. It is fine for me. Okay. Wait a moment. This way. I decided to not be exaggerated. Okay. Now to have much more a further randomness, I'm going to rotate randomly some of the pole I have here. I choose select and rotate, obviously, but I want to rotate them singularly, and I want a random angle. So I do this one, which is really random, and again, and again, another time random. Okay, so I select some other randomly, and I rotate them randomly again. Okay, so they seem really casual now. I use this one. I use this one as I don't know the name in English. Anyhow, to close this banister. This is the correct name. Mhm. I can do it, for example, with a symmetry in the epsilon axis. No, zeta axis. X axis. No, zeta. Okay, zeta axis. 0, 0 for the threshold. Okay. So I think it is perfect. Okay, convert to editable mesh. I move this a bit. And I move this one here. Okay. Okay, it is all fine. It is all fine. It is all fine. But I want it to be different. So I rotate it. And then I move some of its vertices. For example, this way, this way, this way, and this way. Okay. And this way here. So I'm going to repeat these changes here. For example, this way, this way, okay. Okay. So I am quite happy with the result I am adding. Okay. I'm going to build now a little house, and I'm going to put it, for example, here or here in the middle of the lake. I like here in the middle of the lake but not today, not in this tutorial. What I want to do in this tutorial, now is to create some rock, or yes, some rock. Okay, rocks. Some rock to position, for example, here into position and duplicate randomly on those rock textures. Okay. Okay, this should be fine. I press Alt Q to go in the isolation mode. And I choose the text I want to use. For example, I'd like to have a white rock texture, this one, but I'm going to use this one as a base. So I copy and paste this one. Let me see what happens here in this way. No. So color, no. Saturation, no. Tonality, no. Okay, so this does not work for now. So I'm going to copy and paste this one. Okay, going to put off the saturation. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this one and to use a screen blending mode. Okay, this should be fine. And I want luminosity, no. Color, maybe. Going to save. Sasso means stone or rock in Italian. Okay. Oh, I like this one too, but it has a watermark. So maybe it's not the perfect solution, but I could take, for example, this portion. Okay, here and here. Okay, this should be fine. I don't want to make it completely symmetrical, so I'm going to change in some. Okay. Let me see what happens with different blendings mode, starting from luminosity. I don't like none of them except this one. But for example, in this way, I duplicate this one. I choose the normal. Okay. So I think this rock texture could be fine, but I want it to be a bit more desaturated. So I cut off the saturation. Okay. Let me see what happens. Changing the hue. Okay, this way. And I want a bit more contrast. Bit more contrast, but less and more luminosity. Okay. 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 So let's say that this is fine. I'm not completely satisfied, but as this is a tutorial, maybe I'm going to change it while I am offline. Maybe it's better without the luminosity contrast, or I can limit this text, this layer. Okay, let me save it as a bitmap. Obviously, I'm going to save it as 056, right? Okay. Type 056. Yes, it is comparable to this kind of text, so it is fine. This one. I'm going to test it. Okay. I'm going to edit and to apply another smooth. Okay. So it is almost fine in every direction. Also, I go in the flat visualization. I'm going to subdivide it. I'm going to convert it to an editable mesh and to add a noise fractal. Oh, my cat is is asking me. Maybe he wants to eat something. Oh my god, I don't know if you can hear it. Okay. Okay, maybe it's not that good, but it can be fine. Let me see what happens in this way. Okay. Okay, this is fine. But I want it to be a bit more round. So I'm going to add a Spherify modifier, but not at 100%. Let's say this way. Okay. So it is really irregular. Mhm. It is really irregular, and I can change it orderly. Okay. Mhm. Exit. Okay, it is really fine here. It blends very good in the environment. As we work in for the Tomb Raider level editor, this kind of rock should fit the dimension of a sector so it can be climbable. Obviously, we can use any shape for our rocks, especially if you don't want to be climbable. But if you want them to be climbable, I suggest to follow the grid. For example, from the top view here, and I'm going to duplicate this rock here. Okay, and this way, for example. This way, for example. I'm going to change its shape and to put it here and to put it here. Then I'm going to this one. Okay, it's really fine. Okay, and another one here. Okay, sorry to rotate it this way. Mhm. Oh, sorry. I'm going to select this here, this here. Okay, this here. Fine, very fine. Okay, so we have some irregular rocks whose dimension fit fit the the shape of the sectors we have in Tomb Raider level editor. Okay, this is going to be two. Okay, to be two. Okay. To stretch it, to avoid this, I'm going to use this one, this trick. Very good. Okay. I'm going to edit all those rocks contemporarily. My mouse doesn't want to respond to my comments. I don't know why. Maybe it's disabled. And I this isn't disabled, but I don't know why it doesn't move in that window. Maybe I should have to restart 3ds Max. My cat is still complaining about me. Okay. Mhm. I'm not going to create this kind of or so regular stones, because I like really different shapes and irregular and more organic uh, stones. But doing this now to have a shape, a 2D form that is the most similar to a sector of the Tomb Raider level editor, so that these stones are climbable. In fact, I am following the grid. This is half of a grid. Is an half sector. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to do to build some not climbable. For example, here. Okay. I'm going to verify this one again. Let's verify not at 100%, but high enough to have it really irregular. I'm going to clone this one, for example, 4 times, but I'm going to change its rotation randomly, and again randomly, again randomly. Okay, and I'm going to change the dimension. The dimension. Okay. And move them around. This one I can do it a bit more or less. Okay. This one I can do it a bit more. And this one a bit less. Okay. So I'm going to put them in order they form a rock formation this way. I'm going to put this one here. something, I can obviously duplicate this one here and rotate it randomly, change its spherification, okay. I can actually use a bit more spherification. Going to add this one, for example, here. And this one above all the others. Above all the others, this way. It is quite fine.